the ground. The twister cut a path through Crawford County, with the community of Franklin taking the brunt of its fury. More than 100 homes in this small Kansas town are reduced to matchsticks. The winds came through here so violently, the trees are stripped of their bark, many uprooted, others with steel beams embedded in their trunks. National Weather Service officials surveying the area say this is the worst damage they've seen so far and estimate the winds up to 200 miles per hour. The Swayzes are one of the families hardest hit. Living as neighbors, nearly all lost their homes at the same time.
We heard it on the car radio, and we started praying, and I told him, go faster, I want to check on my mother.
And we couldn't get in. They made us go around the bypass, and when we seen all the devastation through here, well, we knew, you know, if she hadn't gotten somewhere that it had carried her away, and they found her down there a couple blocks away in a bunch of debris.
2 days later, the family is still in shock.
We're all kind of numb, though, I think, empty, paralyzed, however you want to describe it. It's a feeling that it's almost no feeling.
Although they're working to salvage what's left, Walt says all of his possessions are just things.
In your heart, it means a lot to you because you've been grounded here and just established here. But, you know, if you look at it in God's eyes, all of this, you know, you got to turn loose of it because it doesn't belong to us anyway.
He says what matters now is holding tight to the people he loves.
That's like my wife's mother, you know, you can't replace her life. And, but we just, you know, you have to go on because life is not fair a lot of times, you know.
And no one knows that more than the hundreds of families who lost everything in the blink of an eye. In Franklin, Kansas, Heather Johnson, News 9.
And 2 days after a tornado leveled much of Pierce City, Missouri, most residents still can't believe how bad it is. Several people are still missing, and hope is fading that they'll be found alive. Folks are digging through the rubble, trying to salvage what they can before the bulldozers come in.
What's needed to build a bomb? Prosecutors are laying it out, calling one witness at a time to put together the list of ingredients. Tamara Pratt is downtown with today's developments in Terry Nichols' preliminary hearing.
Well, Amy, I think the way that we could summarize today is what does it take to make a bomb that would kill 160 people? As you mentioned, prosecutors are laying out the timeline of what they believe happened, when the items were purchased that were used in the bomb, where they were allegedly obtained, and the person they believe responsible for getting them. It sits off a county road, a quarry in Kansas, where a burglary occurred late 1994. On the stand, Alan Radke reported someone broke into the sheds where the explosives were kept. Some 1,200 blasting caps were gone, and on other sheds, the locks had been drilled out. Pointing directly at Terry Nichols, another witness, Stuart Votz, testified Nichols matched the description of the man who tried to buy a ton of ammonium nitrate fertilizer from his co-op. With not enough on hand, Votz says he sent the potential buyer to this place in McPherson, where on 2 separate occasions, a man paid $228 for 2 tons of fertilizer within a 2-week time period. That man listed on the receipt was Mike Havens. Later, the prosecution will allege Havens is Terry Nichols.
Well, one day we're going to have a witness here that's going to put together and say all these ingredients they've talked about that he's either bought, he's got, he's stole, or he's obtained somehow will go together, the components will go together to make a bomb. And legally, these things are against the law in this state and are the components of the bomb that caused the deaths at the Murrah building.
And what I can tell you, the very last person who was actually on the stand today was an Oklahoma City police sergeant who happened to be on the bomb squad on April 19th. He is the first testimony that we have heard in the first 2 days of hearing here that is actually able to start describing the sights and sounds. And of course, he is continuing his testimony by explaining to us how they found the rear axle of the truck they believe that was used to make the bomb. And then from there, we will go with the search of where that truck would lead us to. Kelly, Amy?
All right, Tamara, a lot more to come. 10 witnesses have taken the stand so far in the hearing.
A truck and $10,000 worth of electronic devices were stolen right out of a home, and it all happened while a man was overseas fighting in the war. Chris Moore came home to find out someone pried open the back door of his home and broke in. A television, guitar, computer, and his pickup truck were all stolen. Moore says the worst part is that the burglars have a set of keys to his house.
The first night sleeping here is kind of weird. It's like, you know, at any time someone could come in the house, you know.
Moore plans to change the locks and have an alarm system installed. His insurance will help him replace his belongings. A Guthrie man is in the hospital tonight, shot at least 3 times by a state trooper. Trooper Darren Potter shot Ronnie Dean following a pursuit from Perry to Stillwater. Witnesses say Dean pointed a shotgun at the trooper after stopping in Stillwater. Dean is in critical condition tonight. And a Norman auto repair shop has been scamming customers, according to authorities, and the Attorney General says the shop's mother and son owners are to blame. Donna and James Long of Porter Street Auto Repair have been charged with 4 counts of unfair and deceptive trade practices. One tech tells us a story like this is a blow to the credibility of the entire industry.
It's just a bad name for all of us. I mean, it's not just reflecting on them, it's on all the technicians out there.
For your own safety, it's a good idea to set a price limit in writing with a repair shop and always get referrals.
We always remember that favorite teacher who made a difference in our lives. Today, thousands of students and former students are remembering this principal, Catherine I. Daly. Miss Daly passed away Sunday morning after a 1.5-year battle with cancer. This was her 31st year in the Noble School District. Friends and former students talked with Kia Malone about this angel on earth.
Positive. Everything was positive with her.
Karen Canfield hopes to be just as positive with students as Catherine Daly was with her.
She was my mentor, and I would not be here in this chair today if it had not been for her.
They met decades ago. Karen was a teacher. Catherine was the most organized principal and the best leader. Her impact will never be forgotten. The district renamed Cross Timbers Elementary School, honoring her.
The school has such a happy feel to it. When you walk in, you can feel it.
Some of Karen's fondest memories were summer trips to Sonic.
We went to happy hour. We got Cokes. We got, whatever. And we would drive around, and we would look at houses, and we would talk about everything. I mean, just everything under the sun.
She was so fond of Catherine, she transferred her son to her school, making a difference in his early years, later shaping his young adult life.
She taught him a lot. He wasn't an angel. And he actually ended up in her office a couple of times, and bless her heart, she didn't always have the heart to discipline him, I don't think.
Even though Catherine never married, never gave birth, she had thousands of children, like Cale Carter.
She's touched a lot of lives in this community.
A 6th grader now, but he'll always remember Miss Daly.
She'd stand out there by the bus lines when kids were going home, and I mean, I've seen her out there when it was raining, and she'd have her umbrella out there and still had the same smile on her face.
A smile that made her a true angel on earth.
There will never be another person like her. There will never be another principal like her. Her school will not be the same.
And they'll miss her daily. In Noble, Kia Malone, News 9.
They're lucky to have her.
Yeah.
Gosh. Well, they say it's mind over matter, but can that hold true in the delivery room?
Coming up, a look at a new method meant to keep mom pain-free without the help of medications. Hypnobirthing, straight ahead on News 9 at 6.
More local, more meaningful. This is News 9 at 6.
One of Saddam Hussein's sons may have taken nearly $1 billion from Iraq's central bank just hours before the war began. According to a New York Times report, a former bank official says the order to remove the money came from Saddam himself. The official says it took 3 trailers to carry the $1 billion away. The long journey home is finally over for thousands of sailors.
The 3,000 men and women still on board the USS Abraham Lincoln came home to an incredible sight. Thousands of people crowding the dock, waving signs and blowing kisses. Some Oklahoma families went to Washington to welcome their loved ones home.
I miss my family quite a bit. I mean, it's great to have them here today. I wasn't expecting them to actually come up, but my mom kind of had a little surprise for me, so that was awesome.
The Lincoln was at sea for almost 10 months.
Well, don't go away. Gary's keeping his eye on some strong storms. We'll have his forecast coming up.
Plus, they claim childbirth can be drug-free and pain-free. See how hypnobirthing works next on News 9 at 6.
Perhaps nothing goes hand in hand more than childbirth and pain.
But maybe you haven't heard of hypnobirthing. Hypnobirthing advocates say moms can use self-hypnosis to take control of their birth experience and deliver their baby without drugs and pain. Angela Bucklew tells us more.
Hypnobirthing is not someone with a pocket watch floating back and forth in front of your eyes telling you you're getting sleepy. It is about an expectant mom's deep relaxation and focus and changing the way she thinks about the birthing process as a whole.
We've been taught with since we were little girls that birthing is painful. However, it does not have to be. When you alleviate the fear, which gets rid of the tension then, and you're totally relaxed, the birthing muscles are able to work properly the way nature intended. Then as the baby's head is born, then the baby's going to turn again.
Lisa teaches Integris Baptist Medical Center's hypnobirthing class. Parents learn exactly what the mother's body is going to be doing while giving birth.
When we understand the way the body works, that labor does not have to be painful. Mothers, continue with me on this journey.
Hypnobirthing moms learn to focus on their babies and relax their bodies. They'll practice with their partners when they get home.
Allowing your mind to drift into that place where your body and your baby are working in complete harmony.
A great deal of hypnobirthing is visualization.
I can feel my body opening up like the petals of a spring tulip.
The mothers imagine their bodies opening up, the baby coming out.
They're free to do that because you're not tense and holding them back.
In the hypnobirthing vocabulary, moms don't push, they breathe their babies down and out. And they don't have contractions, they have surges. And instead of pain, the mom assigns a different word.
I'm going to feel tightening, I'm going to feel pressure, I'm going to feel a warmth. And that's what hypnobirthing moms are saying. They say, well, all I felt was the tightening. That's what I determined I would feel, and that's what I felt.
Dawn McGahee decided her surges would feel like pressure. So did all the hypnobirthing classes, relaxation, and focusing work for her?
We were there for Dawn McGahee's hypnobirth. You'll see if it worked for her coming up tonight at 10 on News 9.
And you will get to see this incredible birthing technique tonight on News 9. Don't miss hypnobirthing in action. That's tonight at 10.
Want to see that. Gary's tracking some weather out there. It's been another very dangerous day in parts of the Midwest.
I know, a little noisy back there. Hear those sirens going off. Let's go ahead and get a check with Gary.
Yeah, a little noisy, little wild. Tornado watch, if you just take this line of storms near Sallisaw to east of McAllister down to south of Ardmore to near Marietta, along that line to the east of it, tornado watch for the next few hours. Central, west, north, we're in great shape. We're dry, but no significant weather going on. Let's go to the maps and we'll check it out. The green are the tornado watches. This last 6 hours, you see some blue severe thunderstorm watches, then a whole flock of tornado watches. And we're ending up with this one in eastern Oklahoma over into Arkansas and Missouri. But that's shoving on out. And really for the next few days, almost each day, there'll be a chance for a few showers and thunderstorms, some of those severe. We have it in the 7-day forecast coming up. It's not going to occur every time, but there'll be that threat each day, so we'll be watching it. 56 and 83. The records are 37 and 92, and for a while this morning it felt like 37. Presently we range about 70 to 80. 80 at Norman, 80 at Stillwater. The winds are acceptable in our part of the world here now. They're generally north to northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour. It drops south, and it's summertime in Ardmore, 92. Big thunderstorms just south of you folks in Ardmore going up toward Tishomingo. And it's 86 in Falls Valley. Rush Springs, watermelon capital, a little cooler, 79 there. 83 Altus, 71 Enid, 85 over at Tulsa. Moisture is still very thick over in eastern Oklahoma, kind of hot and humid. In the morning, cool. The winds will be fairly light out of the north. Be a good day. And then for 6 p.m. tomorrow, the wind starts coming around. We'll call it somewhat warm. And then for Thursday morning, the winds are rather brisk, mild temperature, transporting some more moisture up. Dry line tries to come across, so another chance for some showers and thunderstorms during that time frame. And anytime you have thunderstorms this time of year, they can be severe. Not always, but they can be. 45 in the morning, almost a one-dog night. Small dog with long hair. 45 in Woodward, 70 in Durant, 53 in Tulsa. Highs tomorrow will be 70s and 80s, and we'll warm up after that. 10 p.m. tonight, 65. 7 a.m. in the morning, 72. 5 p.m. tomorrow, around 80. 40% chance late tomorrow. Let's check out the 7-day. Take a moment or two to go through it. at 40% for late Wednesday, Wednesday night, and Thursday for a while. And looks like temperatures mostly in the 80s the next few days in all parts of Oklahoma. We'll see some 90s also. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, there's that wonderful opportunity of precipitation that we need. So it's not locked in by any stretch. 30% falls in the slight category. It looks good up there.
Warm temperatures, chance of rain. That's nice and humid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need some rain, though. We're getting pretty
It
dry.
is extremely dry. But,
We don't need anything else, just a
All
little
I'm
rain.
saying.
All right, Gary, don't go away. Dean Blevin's coming up.
And now, News 9 Sports with Dean Blevins.
High school baseball regionals underway today. 6A action at Putnam City North. Del City, Edmond, Santa Fe, Jason Bicknell. The Wolves, Bloop Single, Tim Latta scores. Cody Kaiser scores as well. 3-0, 3-1 rather in the third. Fourth inning, Del City's Brandon Ponder. The grounder and the error. 2 runs will come in to score. Del City over Santa Fe 4-3. And they play the winner of the North Lawton game. Panthers quarterback Matt Nation. Single to the right, Kyle Backley scores 1-0. And Chad McCollum will double to the wall to right center. Nation will come in to score 2-0. And right now in the third, it is 4-0 in favor of PC North. Hi everyone, 2 NBA playoff games tonight. Our Dallas Mavericks hosting the mighty Kings of Sacramento. Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals. In the East, it's the 76ers at the Pistons. The All-NBA team is out today, and I want to know where Allen Iverson is. He's not on the first team. There you see it. Duncan, O'Neal, Bryant, McGrady, Garnett. Duncan becomes the 6th player to make an All-NBA team in 6 of his first years. And Shaq and Kobe, the first teammates to be selected in consecutive years since Stockton and Malone 9 seasons ago. Now, last night, lots of big names were out, but one of them you don't know much about, Manny Ginobili, with the play of the night. Duncan, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Kobe had 37. Game 1 goes to the Spurs, 87-82. The next one's Wednesday at San Antonio. Afterwards, LA coach Phil Jackson was either trying or setting up the officials for the next game. Kobe took the high road.
As players, it's important to just try to play through it. You can go to the referees and plead your case, and that's normal. But for the most part, we just try to play through it, and we leave that to our coaches.
All right, it was the Anaheim Angels in baseball. Looks like that trend's going to continue. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks scored with just over a minute to play last night to eliminate the Dallas Stars. Mighty Ducks 4-3, advancing to the Western Conference Finals. All right, a pioneer of OU's women's athletics announces her retirement today. Over her 28 years, Marita Hines will be remembered for a lot of things, but most going for bat probably for the hiring of Sherry Cole and the rebirth of OU's women's basketball program. Today, the popular Hines recalled just how far women's athletics have come.
Used to be we just traveled within the state and played local to best equipment, etc., all of those types of things. And now if you look at our teams, we even take some foreign trips.
Marita's one of those administrators that you feel like works for you instead of you work for her. Anytime you need anything, she's always there.
Sherry Cole, that was a good move. Marita's done a lot of great things, but that one's a home run.
She looks like a genius on that one.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
What a lady. Back in just a moment.
Here's one of the stories we're working on for News 9 at 10 o'clock tonight. When the government ran a mock biological weapons attack on the town of Goldsby, they said no one would be affected by the chemicals they were dumping. But one man tells us it's killed part of his business. News 9 investigates what else may have been affected tonight after an all-new Judging Amy.
Final thoughts by Dean?
Well, my final thought is that Charlotte has a new expansion franchise coming, so they're looking for a name. So they've got the Charlotte Bobcats, the Charlotte Dragons, or the Charlotte Flight. Playing the New York Knickerbockers. That just doesn't sound right, does it?
Doesn't just roll off your tongue. No. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.